Hello guys and welcome to the finale of The Fortune Hotel. This has been a fantastic series to watch and I hope you guys have been enjoying it at the same time. But we are fortunately over with it. I'm kind of ready to move on to other shows. I feel like this one's kind of been looming over me. I mean, it's been done for about 3 weeks, so my bad guys. But we are here for the finale and it was an interesting one. I was worried how they were going to do it because I felt like this show had like a really great concept, but towards the end, it might not make sense to, I don't know, it just might not make sense to do one final swap and I just wasn't sure how it worked, but they did a fantastic job of actually proving that it does work. It is a good format and ITV, I think you've got a little bit of a winner on your hands, you know, so without much further ado, let's get into the finale, shall we? Okay, so before we get into the rest of the episode, I just want to talk about where each of the couples are standing currently. You've got Sam and Aisha, who no longer really trust Jay and Cherish to have their back after they took the money off of them. They could have nicely gifted 10,000 to Sam and Aisha, but they decided to make their prize pot 30k instead, which, like, I'm not being funny. The game's the game. You got outplayed. It's not the end of the world, but it does really strike me as interesting that Sam and Aisha are now sort of like, that was interesting, wasn't it? Yeah, so, definitely an interesting moment, but Will and Joanne, they've got no clue where the money is currently. They think it could be with Sam and Aisha. They think it could be with Jay and Cherish. They're not sure because of their little interaction at the Lady Luck bar last night. They're just not certain of anything at the moment. And uncertainty in this game is going to prove to be a real killer. I think it's going to really hurt their game. And I don't know. I just feel like at this point, if you've lost where the money is, you've kind of screwed yourself over. It is really unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So, Cherish and Jay were in a conversation with the other couples, and they were basically talking about what they wanted to use the money for. And this was actually a really emotional part of the episode. It was better than Letters from Home or sort of any of those sort of adjacent things. But it was nice to hear them all sort of talk about what they want to use the money for. Like I said, it's a really stressful situation to be in, and tempers have flared, and there have been lines that have potentially been crossed and things like that. But for the most part, these are just people wanting money to give themselves a better life. Cherish was talking about her family background, how her dad died quite early on, and like she just wants to use the money to treat her mum a little bit more, get her a house, and make sure that she has a better standard of living. I think that's a beautiful reason. Sam was talking about how they want to take the kids away for experiences and give them the life that he was never able to have as a kid. Again, I think that's absolutely beautiful, and it really does break my heart when they're like, oh yeah, I want to use it for this, I want to use it for this, because then I'm like, oh, if you don't win it, oh, that's so upsetting. That's so sad. Oh my god, that's heartbreaking. And then, out of nowhere, Will and Joanne, I was like, oh, what do Will and Joanne want to use it on? Come on. Joanne apparently had cancer, and Will's dad had MND, which is motor neuron disease, the same thing that Stephen Hawkins had. And obviously his dad died when he was a lot younger, or I think in his teenage years. Also, Will's apparently 19. that really spun me. Surely that's not true, because Will does look like he's in his mid-20s. Yeah, but it was still a beautiful sort of way. I don't know, it really hit like a soft spot in my heart where I was like, oh, these poor people have been through so much tragedy and they just want to. And Joanne, I keep on getting sidetracked. Joanne wants to give some of the money to the hospital or the like nursing home that she was in while she had cancer. Guys, it's so tragic because I'm listening to this and I'm like, oh my god, you genuinely are wonderful people. As much as you're trying to win this at any cost, I kind of back it, you know what I mean? It does get really difficult when you're this far in the game and you want everyone to win at this point. Especially when they give their reasons and you're like, yeah, you're really cool. I like you. So now it is time for the room service challenge. The room service challenge was actually really fun in this episode. I feel like it's something that I might have thrived at. It was like a little bit of like an escape room in a box. It was kind of cool actually. They had like a locked phone inside of a glass case. They had to solve puzzles in order to get it out, and then the first person to dial the number on the phone would win the challenge. Now, going into this, Jay and Cherish have won two room service challenges. Sam and Aisha have won nothing, and Joanne and Will have won no room service challenges as well. I thought this was very fun. It was really, really nice how they cut it all together, so it seemed like they were all going at roughly the same time. And I thought it worked really, really well. It was very fascinating to watch. You genuinely didn't know who it was going to be until Stephen called them. I was impressed. I was really impressed. I liked the fact that it was Joanne and Will that won. Joanne and Will did win, and they were faced with a very interesting decision. They had two choices in front of them. At this point, all of their cases have been taken, by the way. They no longer have their case. The case has been put into baggage hold, or whatever it's called. What's the room called? I don't remember. But essentially, it was put in there. Their cases, their name tags were attached to them, and what Joanne and Will could do is swap the tags on one of them. So they could swap their case with another case by just simply moving the name tags. I thought this was fantastic. What a great twist this was. What a fantastic twist. There was no peeking allowed, so it was basically, do you want to keep it or do you want to swap it? And obviously they didn't have the money, so the best thing they can do is swap it. Now, I was sure that they swapped with Jay and Cherish, but obviously I think they kept that a little bit of a secret for later on in the episode. But I felt like it was very much they were leaning towards going with Jay and Cherish's case, and believing that Sam and Aisha were trying to play them in some way, shape or form. Again, very, very smart to believe that. I was concerned that they would swap with Sam and Aisha and they would lose the money, or they'd lose track of money. Because obviously nobody knows what's in their case now, because anything could have happened at that swap. This show is so freaking fantastic and I love it so much. So, the final challenge was a lot more epic than... Okay, right, we got to have this conversation. This last challenge was nowhere near as fantastical and epic as the Traitors ones, where you've got Harry and his gang of fellow faithfuls, and Andrew, who was also a traitor, running across mountaintops, swimming in the ocean, making their way to a ship in order to fly the flag. That's all well and good, but like, there's no stakes involved there, apart from obviously winning the money or whatever. Anyway, so my love for this show comes from the fact that the challenges are adrenaline filled, because it dictates your order of swapping, which means you could be going home, you could end up with the money, etc, etc. This challenge felt exhilarating from start to finish. It felt powerful, it felt bold, it felt exciting, and even though they weren't doing anything other than just solving puzzles and running through like the forests, it was still really, really entertaining. I had a fantastic time and I really enjoyed going on the journey. Once again, they edited it so that it looked like everyone was kind of at the same stage. And so it really did keep the suspense building until we found out that Joanne and Will had indeed won the second challenge of the episode. I was impressed with them. I gotta say, the challenges always look like so much fun. Sometimes when I watch the Traitors, the challenges look a little bit of a chore. And I'm like, oh, Wow. Whereas like these challenges, they all seem so imaginative, fun, inventive. They're just great vibes. Like solving puzzles and then running to your next destination, solving another one. A race against the clock. Absolutely. That sounds absolutely entertaining. I would love that. Yeah, I really had a fantastic time with this, and I thought it was a great way to end the show off with the final challenge. But yeah, it's probably time to get into some swapping, shall we? So, we come to the Lady Luck bar. This is the final swap of the competition, and I was kind of surprised by everyone's tactic in this competition. It was a little bit too tame for my liking. We had Sam and Aisha, who they ended last in the challenge, so they had to swap first. But they decided to keep their case. And I was like, why? Because Sam and Aisha know they don't have anything in their case. Surely they know that, right? Because Jay and Cherish, if they won the challenge, they would have chosen to keep the money. If Joanne and Will chose to swap with Sam and Aisha, they'd still end up with nothing in their case. So why would they not take a chance and swap? And then Sam was like, oh, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm hoping we can bait Will and Joanne into swapping with us so that they don't win the money. And I was like, actually, that's quite a smart idea, because a lot of times when Sam and Aisha have said, oh, we're sticking with our case, people have been like, they might have the money. Why do they keep sticking with their case? It's an interesting strategy. I don't know whether it would have worked on like other people, but it definitely didn't work on Will and Joanne. Jay and Cherish chose to keep their case. Again, I was like, why would you choose to keep your case? But also, Jay and Cherish don't know whether A, their case has been swapped, or whether B, they've still got the money. So the smartest strategy for them is hoping they've still got the money, and therefore keeping that money rather than swapping it away. Joanne and Will also decided to keep their case, and obviously because Joanne and Will had decided to swap with Jay and Cherish, they ended up with the money. I was shocked, personally. I didn't think this is how it would end, but also I felt like it was actually really, really good. Having the blind swap, the fact that their cases had been taken away and a swap had happened, really added to the, oh, I actually don't know who's going to win. Because they might not have swapped with Jay and Cherish, they might have swapped with Sam and Aisha, so Jay and Cherish could have won. Anything could have happened there. The only people that weren't winning were Sam and Aisha. But it is what it is. So that brings us to the end of the show, and I was kind of sad to see it over. I would like to see it back. I would like to potentially see it on for a little bit longer. I think that it's good the way it is, and the challenges are perfect, the swapping is perfect. I just think it needs to be a little bit more chaotic, and I think in order for it to be more chaotic, it needs to have more episodes. I think 10 is a perfect number. 8's just a little bit too short. All they needed to do was add in an extra 2 couples, and then I think it would have been great. Like, absolutely fantastic. But that's just my feeling on the matter. It's not anything, it's not complete constructive criticism, because like I said, for the most part, this show was very, very entertaining and very, very good. So I can't fault it too much. Stephen, is his name Mangan? I think it is. He grew on me throughout the series. I wasn't a fan of his presenting style at first, but I liked it towards the end. I felt like he got on well with them, and it did feel quite quirky and fun. He's obviously very funny, so that added to it. Yeah, I was pretty impressed, actually. I thought it was good. He's no Claudia Winkleman, let's put it that way. I do still think the Traitors has the edge when it comes to drama, and like the nothing will ever beat the Round Table. But I do think this has the edge in terms of cohesion with challenges, because currently the Traitors doesn't have that cohesion, and that's the only thing that's missing from the show, is having the challenges not be about the money, just have the money as the prize pot, and the challenges are for your safety. You play for safety that night, to progress your game. That's what you should be playing for, in my humble opinion. But it is what it is. So, thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, doing all those YouTube stuffs that you guys do so well. We are on our way to 900 subscribers. We're almost there, only 20 left. So, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys later. Keep on ranting. Bye now.